Hi, I'm Brady with Quiltcetera.com. I'm here with part 3 of our Raggedy Baby quilt tutorial. In previous sessions I showed you how to prepare your fabric panels, and I showed you how to baste the quilt together with pins and how to mark the quilt top for sewing. Now, as you can see, I've got my sewing machine all set up and I'm going to show you how to start doing that. I've put my even feed foot onto my machine. This is also known as a walking foot, and it feeds the layers of fabric through your machine evenly. It doesn't allow the fabric to shift around and get all bunched up. I've also put on my big extension table. This helps support the heavy fabric and saves your shoulders and your arms while you're sewing. I'm using a size 14 needle as it's nice and big and it will get through the several layers of fabric very easily. Now, we're going to sew across the middle of the quilt on the very first line that we marked, from corner to corner on the diagonal. One thing I wanted to mention is to please be very careful when you're sewing with pins in your fabric. Slow right down and use the hand control and just slowly walk across the pins, or slow right down and just stitch very slowly as you approach them. Careful not to poke yourself with those pins either. You can probably tell this extension table really is helping because the fabric is so heavy when there's so many layers. This one I better just take right out. Now I've gotten to the bottom corner of the quilt. I'm not going to cut my threads. I'm just going to raise my needle and the foot, and I'm going to pull a little bit to give myself some extra thread, and I'm going to turn the quilt, find my next marked line, which is a ½ inch to the right, and I'm going to start sewing back towards the same corner I just came from. This saves you time and it saves on your thread, and it just makes things a wee bit faster. So I'm just going to continue sewing on in this way, keeping a ½ inch in between my seams. I am going to work my way out to one corner, then I'll come back into the center and I'll work my way back out to the other corner. I'm going to finish up sewing all these seams and take a little break. When I come back, I'll show you how we can start doing the cutting to create the faux chenille.